This is Nick Paulson. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Agricultural and Consumer Economics and a member of the farmdoc team. And in this video, we're going to be discussing the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, or CFAP, for which USDA released the final rulemaking and some more details about how some of the payments will be calculated. And here we're going to focus on the non-specialty crop payments that are part of the CFAP program. So in this table, you can see some of the payment rates that were released for the non-specialty crops that are eligible for payments under the CFAP program. And there's been a lot of discussion just in the last few days since the details of the program were released about how complex the program is and how there's multiple payments that are combined into a single payment for the producer by commodity here. And at least in the case of the non-specialty crop aspect of the program, we can actually do some simplification to look at how the payments are going to be calculated on any producer-specific situation. So it is true that there are two separate payment rates outlined for non-specialty crops. One is based on funding that's coming through the CARES Act, and you can see those payment rates in the first column of the table here. There's a second portion of the payment that's coming from a CCC payment rate and the CCC funds. You can see those values are also provided. But what I want to focus on as we go through some simple examples here are the what I'm calling the average payment rate, which is literally just the simple average of the CARES Act and the CCC payment rates. And specifically, we can highlight the corn and soybean average payment rates in the CFAP program. So ultimately, for the bushels that are covered in the CFAP program, corn is going to receive 33.5 cents, and soybean bushels, again, that are covered under the CFAP program are going to receive 47.5 cents. And you can see what some of those average payment rates are for some of the other covered commodities. Perhaps the other thing to mention about the program, specific, at least within the state of Illinois, is that winter wheat is not included as an eligible commodity. It did not have a price decline great enough to be included in the program, but some other wheat types are included: durum wheat and hard red spring. So let's take a look at a payment example for corn. So a couple of things I want to highlight here as we go through this payment example. One is that the information that the farmer will ultimately need to provide to calculate a payment for them is relatively minimal. Again, the way in which the payments are calculated might look confusing with the CARES Act and the CCC payment rates that'll be used by FSA, but really what the farmer needs to provide is a measure of total production from the 2019 crop year. So here we have a 200,000 bushel corn production for this specific example. And then information on unpriced inventories from the 2019 crop as of January 15th. Now, again, this is where a lot of confusion is coming in, and we don't have a lot of information yet in terms of really understanding exactly what falls under that unpriced inventory category. But those are the two values that FSA will need to calculate a payment for an individual farmer. From there, what FSA will do is they will calculate how many bushels the farmer is eligible to receive a payment on, and those are referred to as eligible inventories in the rulemaking. In this case, 200,000 total production. Half of that is 100,000 bushels. That's the maximum number of bushels that can be covered in the program. So that 100,000 is compared to the 130,000 unpriced inventory figure. And so we hit the cap, and 100,000 are the eligible inventories for this situation. Multiply that by a 33.5 cent payment rate, we get a total CFAP payment of $33,500. Now, again, some of those dollars are coming from the CARES Act, some of those dollars are coming from CCC, but from the farmer's perspective, what matters is that $33,500 payment. And those are going to be made in potentially two installments. The first installment, which is 80% of the total, is a guaranteed payment. And then the remaining 20%, in this case, the $6,700, will be paid pending that there are available funds in the program to provide those second installments to farmers. Just as a quick second example, we'll take a look at the same farmer, same yield, same acreage, same total production of 200,000 bushels in 2019. But in this case, we've only got $80,000 in unpriced inventories on that 2019 crop. In this case, our eligible inventories for the CFAP payment would be those unpriced inventories. So again, it's the less of that unpriced inventory figure or half of total production that they compare to define that eligible inventory amount. Multiply that by the 33.5 cents, we get the total CFAP payment of $26,800 in this case. The first installment, again, guaranteed 80%, would be $21,440. Second installment, pending available funds, would be $5,360. Summing those, again, would be the total CFAP payment of $26,800. Just a little bit of other info that we have at this time for the CFAP program. Applications will open on May 26th, and that application period will be open through August 28th or until the funds are exhausted. Broadly, there is a $250,000 per person or entity payment limit that is not crop specific or livestock specific. That is currently listed as being broad for the entire CFAP program. So any person or entity can only collect $250,000 in total. There's also an AGI test for eligibility. AGI, which stands for adjusted gross income. That's $900,000 based on the average of the 16, 17, and 18 tax years. However, if you have at least 75% of your AGIs coming from farming, forestry, or ranching, that eligibility test does not need to be passed. And then finally, a little bit more information and resources related to the CFAP program. There is the farmers.gov website, and specifically the CFAP website for the information currently available on the program. And then just today, Friday, May 22nd, we released a farmdocDaily article that provides a few more details than I covered in this video on both non-specialty crop and livestock payment rates and some payment examples. Thank you.